Now what is the result? Now can we say, now I want you to think, have we attained this goal? Is our society a reproductively healthy society, as WHO said? Just analyze, and from your conscience, can we say it is a reproductively healthy society? If I say at this point of time, it's going against the text, but I cannot be without saying it is not at all a reproductively healthy society. There are lots of sex crimes, sex abuse, human trafficking, murdering, etc. It's not at all a reproductively healthy society. But if the question is asked for your CBSE boards, have we attained? Yes, we have attained from this perspective. So what I said is my opinion. Your CBSE is not open-ended, children. My opinion at this point as a teacher, I cannot say that our society is a reproductively healthy society. That's why I gave it. But for the board, if it is asked this, yes, we have achieved a reproductively healthy society. Success. Why? First reason, the infant mortality rate and maternal mortality rate, IMR is infant mortality rate, maternal mortality rate, has declined. Can you say the reason why it has declined? Yes, improved facilities. Now the deliveries are medically assisted. Earlier days it was not medically assisted, it was done by midwives. It was if you talk to your grandparents or great grandparents, they must have given birth to your father or your grandmother at home. So there's a chance of death of the child or death of the mother at the time of delivery. But now it's compulsory, all the deliveries are medically assisted in the hospital. So there's no chance of the infant dying or the mother dying. Not only that, this postnatal care, after delivery, the mother and the baby are given care. It's earlier days, after 1 or 2 months the mother goes for work. But now it's compulsory, and in this context our government has given 3 months maternity and 19 days paternity leave, and in some institutions there is 6 months maternity leave. Okay, this is all to take care of to cater to the postnatal care. Then next, second, increase in the small sized families. Now we can see there are many families with with few children. Hardly you can see around families with 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 children, maximum only 2 or 1. So that also has contributed to making our society healthy. Most of the couples have understood this and have opted for small sized families. And lastly, better detection and cure of STDs. So now there's a better detection methods and cure for STDs. So now people have become aware, they approach the doctors and get themselves detected and cured of STDs. And so that reproductively we have achieved this goal, a reproductively healthy society. So if it's asked for the board exam, these are the 3 points to prove that our society has attained reproductive health. Now I am going to the next topic. Next topic is population explosion. So population explosion is the increase in the population size, and this is coming under a branch of science called demography. And always when we talk about population size, remember the 3 C's: causes, control and consequences. The 3 C's. Now first we'll analyze the causes of the population increase. So causes, the main cause of the population increase in India is improved medical facilities. Because of that, one, detection and cure of disease. Now we can see many of the people are having a longer lifespan because at a very early stage they get just disease detected and go for treatment. Now it's not a strain to get this detection at a very early stage. Okay, even cancer now it's very rampant, people take it. Now there are lots of cancer survivors, not a big deal. Earlier days it was a big problem. Cancer means if the whole family is down, but now they take it in that stride. And this detection is possible, early detection is possible, and also the cure. So this has increased in the longevity of the lifespan. Second is decline in maternal mortality rate, decline in infant mortality rate, decline in death rate and decline in fetal mortality rate. Now, can we say the reason for decline in maternal and infant mortality rate? I told you the reason. One is medical assisted deliveries, because nowadays people opt to go to the hospitals for delivery. So, it is handled by experts. So, there is no chance of the mother or the baby dying. So, medical assisted delivery is one reason. Second reason is postnatal care. After the birth, the mother and the baby are given care, extra care and treatment and lots of medicines. So, there is no chance of this. And also why this, also reason why this low infant mortality rate, immunization. Now, we know right from the childbirth till 1 year, 2 years, the child is punctured with lots of injections that is needed for immunization. For they are called vaccinations against different diseases. So, the child are not prone to any disease. Earlier days we have heard if your grandmother saying that she had a child living up till 2 years, 3 years and child died of a disease. Mumps was very rampant, chicken pox, smallpox, etc. was very common at that time. But now we are all immune. You all are immune to such diseases. So, there is no chance of infant mortality rate or child mortality rate. Then decline in death rate. As I told you, decline in death rate because of the improved medical facilities, we go early, detect the disease and get treated. So, our lifespan increases. So, the death rate has come down. And also your fetal mortality rate, as I taking the case of amniocentesis, because ban of amniocentesis and restriction on MTP, this fetal mortality rate has come down. No one is opting for the fetus to be aborted because there is no option to check the sex of the child. So, this also has declined because of those measures. So, once again the causes of population explosion in India is improved medical facilities, the root cause, and because of that we detect ourselves of disease and get it cured. So, our lifespan has increased. Second is decline in maternal mortality rate, decline in infant mortality rate because of medical assisted deliveries, postnatal care and also immunization given to children. So, there is no chance of death. Then decline in death rate. I told you because of improved medical facilities we get ourselves detected and cured. And lastly, fetal mortality rate also has declined because of the ban of amniocentesis and restricted abortions. Now, in this context, the causes of population explosion, I just want you to have a quick insight of the statistics of our population. So, this is the world population. This is with respect to the world and this is with respect to India. A very small statistics, not too much in depth. In the 19th century, 1900, the world population was 2 billion and all of a sudden it rocketed to 6 billion when it became 2000 AD. See how it has hiked? This is the case of the world condition. Next, in India, during the independence, now we cannot say about pre-independence, only at the time of independence we had those schemes of taking the population density. So, at that time what was the population density in India at the time of independence? 350 million. But now look, it has hiked to 1 billion when it reached May 2000. See, here also we can see India, the population has soared up or surged in such a way that it is uncontrolled. And this is a small graph to depict the population increase. See, 1950 or 1947, how was the population? It was very low. Now see, it has increased and reached a height in 2010. See, this is not a good trend. So, lot of measures have been done to control the population. So, this is a statistics. And so, why I took you to the statistics? What will happen if we do not control the population? What will be the consequences if the population is not controlled? It is simple as this. There will be scarcity of food, shelter and clothing. We have learned basic needs in lower class. What are the basic needs of man? Food, shelter, clothing. This itself is given in your text. We will have scarcity of food, shelter and clothing. It's simple as that. You will not have food, so we will die with hunger and starvation. Then we will not have space to live, and clothes, we do not have money, we will be in rags. So, this is the consequences, dire consequence of if the population is increasing. And lastly, the last C is control measures. Very important is the control measures. So, the last C, control measures. The first control measure that was implemented by a government was raising the marriageable age of males and females. Earlier days, men and women could marry at a very early age. We have heard of child marriage. It was just 50 years back this was the case in India. It was not a great deal. Even our Prime Minister got married at a very early age. Okay. So, in those days it was like a child marriage, but now what the government has done is they have made it very strict that males will get married at the age of 21 and females should get married only after 18 or 18 years. Below that they will be behind bars. It is very strict. Second implementation or measure that was implemented is incentives to couple with small family. This I have told you in many contexts about the incentives given to couple with small family, right from contraceptives disseminated at free of cost like Nirodh, right from tubectomy and vasectomy being done free of cost, then single girl child being given waiver in fees, then lots of loans and schemes for a small sized family. And in India the policy still, though our population is exploding, our policy is the two child policy. Unlike in China they have taken a very stringent action, one child policy, but here the government is little more tolerant and little free, that has given us option for 2 children, okay, the 2 child policy. And we have seen all this on TV and it's all in our all the print and audio visual media. They have given this as an advertisement, the 2 child policy. Okay, so incentives to couples with small family. I told you the number of incentives given to couples with a small size family. And last measure is motivating the people for small size family by the use of contraceptives. Here the families are motivated to opt for contraceptives. So, in this context the contraceptives are given free of cost. The condoms are given free of cost, certain pills are given free of cost, certain IUDs also are given free of cost, but it is all from the government hospitals. And as I told you, tubectomy, vasectomy is done free of cost. So, all these are to motivate the people to go for a small size family. So, with this I conclude this topic on population explosion. You remember the 3 C's involved: causes, control and consequences. Thank you.